Okay, so I'm gonna address this real quick. Two clips are going viral. If you watch the games, you saw both of them happen. Let's talk about the Sixers. Actually, let me tell you what we're talking about first. Fans doing too much, going above and beyond, being disrespectful to the athletes, right? And so the two games we saw one guy with the Philadelphia 76ers and the Washington Wizards dump popcorn on Russell Westbrook. And what makes it, spiteful even worse is that Russell Westbrook just got injured, so he's limping off the court, and that fan decides to pour popcorn on him. And as a Sixers fan, I'm telling you that doesn't represent all of us. We're all not classics like that. Yes, we're going to talk trash. Yes, we're going to say we don't like you to play. Yes, we're going to say you play like a bum. Yes, we're going to say you was 6 for 10 from the free throws line. Yes, we're going to say you was 2 for 10 from the field. Yes, we're going to say Ben Simmons, Tobias, Thibault, Danny Green shut you down. We're going to say all that stuff. But dumping popcorn on a guy, like, I just don't agree with that. I would never do something like that. I said a lot of things when I went to the Sixers games. I talked a lot, but dumping popcorn on a guy, on a man, that's just crazy. And then with the Knicks and the Hawks, that's not getting enough public attention because we saw national media just blow up the Sixers and the, Washington Wizards, incident. And then I see a lot of people, saying, oh, it's always Sixers fans, always Sixers fans. So that's why I tweeted out like, Stephen A. Smith, what's up with your Knicks? Because a dude spit on somebody. He spit on Trae Young. Dumping popcorn is bad, but spit on somebody, come on now, that's a rule. That's a disrespect that you never tolerate. It's a disrespect that you never cross. So he spit on Trae Young. Obviously, Trae Young, I don't know if you noticed it, didn't feel it, but at the end of the day, a fan tried to spit on him. A man tried to spit on another man. And here's my thoughts on this. I think both players should have got an opportunity to catch the fade. I think that fan that dumped popcorn on him, if I was the security, I would have let Russell Westbrook go and let him catch a 30, 45-second fade with that fan, honestly. Or I'd have told that fan, all right, come on, we're going to escort you. And I was just going to so happen to take him to the back room, and him and Russ is going to catch that fade. The dude that spit on Trae Young, he's lucky 50 Cent didn't see it, or he lucky he didn't hit 50 Cent or his girl, because 50 Cent would have hit him with that left, right, and put him to the ground. That fan should have, been able to, Trae Young should be able to catch his fade. Like, I say all that to say, you remember Malace in the Palace, how they got blown up, right?
Somehow find a way to get this game over with as quickly as possible. The problem is, if Wallace is ejected, I'm not sure. He'd have to walk past the Pacer bench to go. Now Artest has jumped over the scorer's table and is trying to get down to the bench. Artest is in the stands. Oh, this is awful. Fans are getting involved. Steven Jackson's in the fans. Rasheed Wallace going into the stands. The security trying to somehow restore order. Fans and players are going at it, and the players trying to help each other out. This is a disgrace. All the players now, they're jumping in there to try and get the other players out because the fans have come involved. Oh, what a sad scene here at the Palace.
And I promise you, the negative thoughts and comments around it, we only saw that because players didn't get a chance to show their side, and also the media was different. The media was different. Because you see right now, those clips are going viral. They're getting national attention because on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, on social media, fans are being able to, voice their opinion more, and it's able to get global, and it's able to, reach a whole bunch of people at a snap of a finger. When that Malace at the Palace happened, it wasn't, yes, it was being talked about here and there on TV, but you're not seeing on your phone 24/7 like you're seeing. You go on Twitter, you scroll once or twice, you're going to see it. You go on Instagram, you scroll once or twice, you're going to see it on Facebook. Once or twice, you're going to see it. And so when I say these things to say, if you remember Malace in the Palace, yes, the players had their brawl. Ron Artest was chilling, minding his own business, and a fan dumps beer on him. A fan throws beer at him. So, yes, Ron goes over there. He knocks him out. That's what he's supposed to do. Steven Jackson goes up there. He hits a fan. He's going to kick him. His words, not mine. That's what he's supposed to do. Why? Because he's a man.
And as we go back, and as you're seeing these fans dump alcohol, dump all these beverages on the players, and they're allowed to get away with it, in what other setting is somebody allowed to just pour alcohol beverages on you and you're being told to look the other way, and if you retaliate, you're at fault? How are the NBA protecting these players right here? Oh, just because they got in the brawl, the fans are just allowed to pour a whole bunch of liquor at them without any consequences, and yet people still wanted to blame the players? How would you feel? They're being threatened. There's hundreds and thousands of fans in the stadium all want to come after 10 players, and they're at fault. Just look. Just look at all these alcohol beverages being dumped on the players right here. It's unacceptable. Yeah, everybody always wants to blame the players involved, from Steven Jackson to Ron Artest to Jermaine O'Neal. They always want to blame the players, but nobody wants to talk about how disrespectful the fans were and they were allowed to get away with it.
Any other setting, just like Russell Westbrook said, and I'm going to play the clip. In any other setting, that's assault, or any other setting, that person that was assaulted has a chance to fight back. I'm not trying to promote violence, but I'm just saying what needs to be said. He dumped popcorn on Russ. People looking at Russ crazy for wanting to defend himself.
Fortunately, I was leaving out, and then I just felt popcorn on top of my head, And to be blatantly honest, man, this shit is getting out of hand, especially for me. Just the amount of disrespect, the amount of just fans just doing whatever the fuck they want to do. It's out of pocket, man. It's out of pocket, seriously. Like, any other setting, I'm all for the fans enjoying the game and having fun, and it's part of sports. I get it, but there's certain things that cross the line, and any other setting, I know for a fact that fans they want to come up. A guy wouldn't come on the street and pour popcorn on my head because he know what happened. A guy wouldn't come up to me and talk mess about my kids and family on the street because the response would be different. In these arenas, you got to start protecting the players, man. We'll see what the NBA does, but there's a huge consequence for us as players, and especially for me. I've been in a lot of incidents where fans they say whatever, and the consequences for me are a lot more detrimental than to those people in the stands because they feel like they're untouchable. They can say what they want. They're at a sporting event where they should enjoy the game. But a lot of times fans don't realize this is our job. This is my job. This is not some play. This is something I love to do. This is something I love competing at. So to get food thrown on top of me, it's just bullshit, really. And if unfortunately, I couldn't get to the stands, but I just don't take that lightly, man. To me, it happens to me a lot of times, and obviously I've learned to kind of look the other way, but after a certain extent, you can't just keep looking the other way. There has to be some penalties or something to put in place where fans can't just come to the games and do and say as they please because they wouldn't do that shit anywhere else, any other setting, and I'm sick and tired of it, honestly.
So when the Malace and the Palace happened, and Steven Jackson and Ron Artest was getting the blame, nobody's talking about this fan that's throwing punches or this fan that's throwing beer. You're throwing beer at somebody, that's an assault. Any other place, Ron Artest is in the right. So I don't understand why players are getting blamed, because in my opinion, I think players should be able to fight back. There's no reason why players should be at fault and players should have all these rules, but fans don't. Oh, he's getting banned from the arena. He should be thrown in jail. Any other place, he's getting thrown in jail. So, my thoughts on this, they were both despicable. They were both terrible to watch. I would do neither. I talk a lot of trash, yes, but I'm not throwing popcorn at nobody. When you do something, why are you running away? You do it in the dark. What comes to the dark always, what you do in the dark always comes to the light. Player thought spitting on Trae Young was cool, now you banned. Dude thought dumping popcorn on Russell Westbrook was cool, now you banned. What? They're lucky. He's lucky Russ didn't get hands on him, because I knew Russ was going to hit him with a bop, 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 put him to the ground, then stomp, put him to the ground. What does he deserve? For the fans, everything that happened in Malace and Palace, now the one guy, they said that he wasn't actually the dude that threw beer, but the dude that threw beer and the people that was in that incident fighting, the fans got what they deserve, because how dare you disrespect another man and then get mad when another man reacts? Like, why are the NBA players expected to be anything other than human? They're expected to act different. Why? because they get paid money to play a game, you're gonna let somebody disrespect you? Like, how would you feel? Like, people saying, "Oh, it's popcorn." It's disrespect. You don't take disrespect at all. At least that's how I was taught. You don't take disrespect. And if you notice, right, and nobody else is going to talk about this, but I seen it on Twitter. I had an interesting conversation with a guy, and he pointed out a great fact. And I speak my truth. So I don't hide from nothing. If you notice, it's always the white Americans doing something to the African American athlete. I've never seen an African American go out and act this crazy. I've never seen. They do clips. There weren't African Americans that dumped popcorn on Russell Westbrook. It wasn't an African American that spit on Trae Young. It wasn't an African American that did the Malace and the Prowess and poured beer on our test. It wasn't, because we know better. We know better. We were taught different. And so, when I see all the things I said on Twitter and the Twitter threads, if you follow me on them, see I was always the white, American doing this to the black athlete because they're privileged, because they think they get away with it, and then cry victim when it's over. At the end of the day, you shouldn't do that to no man. At the end of the day, it is a race problem, and it needs to be addressed. The players need to be protected. If not, they need to have opportunity to fight back. Because best believe, if it was a African-American fan doing something to Luka Doncic, woo-wee, things will be a lot different right now. And I'm not saying the fans should do it, none of that. What I'm saying is it does not need to be a double standard, and I'm saying players need to be protected. That's how I feel about that. Both of those fans should be banned for life. They should get some fines. And moving forward, the NBA needs to do something. They don't do anything. Players should be allowed to catch their fade, and they should be able to get away with it.